Nice.
Okay. So
Yes.
now we can see. So we are looking for here. We are using like data binding data send made last time that I deleted a few code now. And if I type something like Parag, or if I say like Vamsi, if I click a search, I need to display all my accounts related to Vamsi. I need to display all accounts related to Vamsi. Clear? You understood this? On click of this search, I should get my account names. Okay.
Yes.
How to get that? How to get that? So to get the records, where your records are stored in the Salesforce account object, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So first we need to run a query, get the results and then display it. So to do this process, we would need Apex class to support this requirement. Why Apex class is needed? Apex class have a capability that he can do a query, right? So we'll see how we can write Apex classes. We know how to write Apex classes for triggers, isn't it? The same way, now we need to understand how to write a Apex class for a Lightning components. Okay. So let's create an Apex class the normal way. SFDX create Apex class. Let's say header CMP. Oh, okay, it's created. So we don't need a constructor. See, Apex class is also a same, a normal class, but only if we want to return any method, if we want to call Apex method from a Lightning component, then it should be annotated with Aura enabled. It should be enabled with Aura enabled. It should be a static method and you can have any return type. Here, what is your return type? Accounts, right? List of account, isn't it? Yes or no? And here
Your list of records.
get accounts, and here you will be passing your name field, right? Yes or no? You will be searching based on account name only, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here you have see search for account. On click of search, you are sending your account name. So we have account name. Then how can we write a query? Let's say string. First now let's say I'm sending VAM and I have account name something like RVAM. Second RAM, VAM, third VAM, or fourth I can say RVAM, RN. So now if I send VAM, what are all accounts I should get? Do I get all four? I should get only three. First, I mean third one.
Actually, it will get all four, no?
To get all four, then we need to use which operator? Equal operator or like operator?
Like operator.
Exactly. So let's say string name equal to. So I'm preparing for like, okay, account name plus we do this percentage, right, for like any case matching, isn't it, right?
Yes.
List of account ACC list equal to select ID comma name comma phone comma description from account where name like your name field. your name field. Then say return ACC list. That's all. This is how your Apex code looks like. A simple Aura methods only. Missing RETU. Okay, I did a spelling mistake. It's a normal Apex method, but the methods are always to be a static method and should be ended with Aura enabled. Clear? Now we had this, but now we need to call this method, isn't it? Now we need to call this method, isn't it? How can we call this method? On click of button, we are calling our search action, isn't it? You remembered this, or still should I go through again from our last class? On click of this button, you remember there is an action which is calling. That action is called search action, right? From button. Yes or no?
Yes.
And
I
search
think Nagesh is not there in the last class.
okay. So this is simple one. On click of this search, we are getting value, right? Based on search field. From search field, we are getting value. That is what we are using here. Aura ID, right? Now, we need to call server. Call Apex method from the LTNG controller. So now I'm trying to call my Apex method, whatever I created here. So to call Apex method, first I need to access this class as my controller. I need to call controller on my component. So I declared my controller here. So now my header component, no, there is an Apex class called header CMP, which will have Aura enabled methods, Now I need to tell to my controller action that which method I should call. Let's say const, const, I'm saying action equal to component dot get. This is how the syntax goes, guys. Okay. C dot your component name. Sorry, your method name. C dot your method name. That's it. You define action. Then we need to set a params. Action dot set params. Action dot set params. Set params is a method, so I declared, and then it will accept as a JSON file. Set params accepts as a JSON. What is the parameter here? Your account name. Your account name colon. And what you are passing here? Such value you need to pass, right? Such value. Then action dot set callback. Set callback. Action dot set callback. And this is also a method. Semicolon. Inside we need to define a signature here. Let's say this function of your action callback should look like this. Action callback should look like this. It have this parameter, the current component parameter, and the function of response. Whatever the call you are doing, what is the return it is giving? List of accounts. That list of accounts will stored inside response dot value. So now, because this is an integration callout, you have a state, whether it is a success or fail. Response dot get state. Response dot get state. So we need to handle data only when it is success. State equal to SUCCESS success. Alert server action successful. Else alert it's error. Deploy. So here what? No, one thing I'm missing because I need to do a NQ action. Action secure dollar a dot NQ action secure dollar a NQ action of your action variable. So whatever we are seeing, first we got our Apex method name by saying component.get c.get accounts, and then you are setting method parameters, right? Your method parameters, and then you are doing action set callback. Set callback is the one which is capable to handle your response. To do this call out successful, because all these calls, whatever you are doing from Apex class, JavaScript controller to Apex class, those methods are asynchronous. For asynchronous method, we are adding a NQ action. NQ action in the sense, it will get into queue that it will execute later and the results can be handled. So secure $a NQ action is much more important. Do not forget it while writing. If you forgot this, then your server call will not be authenticated. Any doubt on this? See, I know that the syntax, remember, will be hard, but this is the exact syntax that you will write every time. So you can even by heart it, or you can even practice it, whatever. But this is how the structure looks like. Clear?
Okay.
There is no change. Like,
So just values change over.
yeah, only this method name will change, and here you will be assigning values will be changed. Nothing else. Rest all. I mean, the method parameters you need to change, but the structure remains same.
Okay.
Here we have the method parameter name is account name, so we are using account name. If it is having a multiple, then we'll use comma and we'll add continuously for the next parameter. That's it.
Okay.
So the syntax like getting, set parameters, callback, and NQ action, this structure remains it. This structure will not change. Now if I click, let me refresh it. Server action successful. It means that it is successfully executing my command, right?
Okay. So like, will it show the account also? Like the
That will
accounts
go
one by
here.
one.
That will go here. Now let me add debugger. I'm just adding some debugger, just a simple debugger, nothing else. Okay. Deploy the source code. Now let's open inspect elements, refresh it. When you add a debugger, right, automatically code will stop at that location. C search. So your code had a break. If I go to source, your code had a break around success, right? So let me go to console. Response dot get return value. Response dot get return value. So you got a data, see, one record you got it. This is account ID, Vamsi, phone number, and the entire name of this one. You got the details or not?
Yeah.
Now it is our responsibility to store this value inside Salesforce system. It is our responsibility to store this value inside our Salesforce system. Clear?
Okay.
Now let's go back and I'll say aura attribute name equal to accounts, type equal to list. Copy. Now here I'll come back. Instead of call server and all this stuff, I'll say component dot set. You know, right? We were discussing this component dot set v dot accounts colon response dot get return value. So what happened? Whatever data you have here, that will be displayed to accounts. So lightning level, here I'll just add it. Total accounts. Now on click of search, every time you will get that length, how many records you got it in return. Clear? Total accounts is 0 by default. I'm saying Vamsi. Search. How many records you got in return? 1, right?
One. Yeah.
If I say A, there could be chances of more than 1 for sure. 16. If I say oil, 3. So it means my data is getting updated. No doubt in that, isn't it?
Yep.
So now we need to handle this record where, you can either display here, but my understanding is that I don't want to do something like this. So I need to keep my component iteration here. I need to add my components here. And then I do, look, let's go back. I'll define one more component, display all accounts. I'll define one more component called display all accounts. Okay. Control Shift P, SFDX, create aura component, display accounts, or I'll say accounts table, or I can say display accounts. This is display accounts, so plural. Responsible. So what we're doing, we're creating a new separate component, right? We created a new separate component. So what I'm doing, I'm editing this page. You remembered what are the 2 different events available here? What are the 2 different events available? Lightning events are of two types. One is application event, another one is component event.
Okay.
Any doubts? We had a diagram discussed last time, right?
Yep.
What are the two events? Component event and application event. Component event and application event. What is the difference between component event and application event? Component event works only within the hierarchy. Application event works across the components within that application base. So if I had any components added in this component in this particular page, I can able to fire an application event from this component to this component, because if you can see, such accounts and responsible for displaying accounts, these two are related directly or they are related because of the page,
Because of the page.
right? So when it is because of the page, then which type of event will support us? Application event.
Component.
Component, they are not child and
Okay.
parent, right?
Right.
So component event will only work when they are child and parent. When they are in child and parent, from child to parent, it will component event will work. But if it is an application event, it doesn't even worry about hierarchy. If they are displaying in the same application or same page, then you can able to do it. Okay.
Okay.
So first we need to create an application event. First we need to define an event. Control Shift P, SFDX, create component, Aura component, create Aura event. Here you can see, and I'll say uh, Aura.
In component again different, right? Like lightning component and the arrow component, right?
No, Lightning Web component and Aura component.
Okay.
So I'm creating one event, and if it is type is application, then this is called application event. If you type equal to component, then it will become component event. Description: this is a demo. Purpose: to know app events. Here I'll define one more variable saying that Aura attribute name equal to account data, type equal to list. That's it. This is called application event. Okay. So you don't want to do anything in this. All you need to define type equal to application and the attributes. That's it. Okay. Any question here? Oh. Now, and I have created one more event, one more component called I'm responsible for display search icon. This is your component called display accounts component. I created a new component and I added to a page. I'm editing the page and I can show you. Here I added one more component, see display accounts, isn't it? So now my expectation is that on click of such, on click of value here like Vamsi, if I click search, the result should display in this component. The result should display in this component. I am responsible for displaying such account. Now tell me, both this component are related or they are not related? Whether these two components are related or they are not related.
For now, not related.
Now, yes, they are not directly related, but now they are under same application, right? They are under same application page, isn't it? Within the Aura components. Yes or no?
Yes.
If the components are grouped within the same application, then the communication of the component should happen through Lightning application events. If the components are not related, and if you want to communicate a data from one application, one component to another component within the application, then you can use application events. If you can recall our earlier session, that we had some diagram created and we were seeing the arrow marks, right? This is application event, this is component event, yes or no? This time, the two components are placed within the application and they are not related directly. So because of this scenario, we have to use application event to communicate data from a search of contact accounts to display of accounts. So on click of this button, then I need to fire an event before getting. So I created one more event. To create an event, it's very simple. SFDX create Aura event. It will ask a name. I created already event called such event and with the attribute called Aura attribute account data. Aura attribute account data is a name which is a list type. Clear? Any question on this? Content is not allowed in tiling section. Okay. Any question in the event? No. Now we need to understand this way. Who is publishing data? Search for accounts or displaying accounts? Who is publishing data? In these two components, who is getting data first?
Search for account.
Search for accounts. And who is responsible to display accounts?
Display.
So, who is sender?
Search.
When the data is sent by some component, that component is called registered. That component is called event registered. Okay? Event registered. So now we need to define our event registered. We need to define our event registered. Let's go back to the component Aura handler. Here I can see event handlers. So just to split Aura registered event, Aura registered event, name equal to such event, name equal to such event, and then type equal to, what is type here? C, because we created, and then your event name. And event name should be same. It's a case sensitive. And you can see SCARCH, and event. So this is how you have to define your event name. This is how you need to define your event name. And it is saying Update design tokens available. Name, type, register an event with the component with all five. View component. 1 minute. Saying some error. I just wanted to check. Anyway, that's fine. Quick fix. Aura registered SLDS where P horizon. No, this is something else. It is showing. Cool. Okay. Now I registered my event. Now I registered my event called search event and this one. Now what we need to do on click of this file. So when you need to fire an event, guys, when you need to fire an event on click of search, right? On click of search, once you get success result, isn't it? You need to fire an event. So to do that, let's go back. Let's go back. Now I'll say fire an event on data on success server call, right? We need to do, isn't it? How to fire an event? Let app event equal to secure $a dot get. It's an event, isn't it? So e dot c colon your event name. What is your event name here? Search, SEARCH, search event. And now you need to set a parameters, right? What is the parameter that you need to set? Account data. You need to set a parameter called account data. App event dot set params. Always params in the format of JSON. Set params. How will you do that? Account data colon your response dot get return value. This is what you need to handle. Response dot get return value. You got your data, and then it's simply app event dot file. That's it. As soon as you say file, this event will be published. This event will be published. So what is the syntax? First you will get your event name, and then you will set a event data in the sense parameters with our attributes, and then you will simply say fire event. So this way application event will be fire. And before firing, as soon as if the component is trying to fire, that component should register an event. Now, if this component fires an event, now the display account should handle the event. The display account should handles the event. How to handle it? If that is a register, then this is a handler. Events. And here this will be handler. That if that is a register and this is a handler. Aura handler event. What is the event here we are using? C colon search event. I mean, we know that register type, and now the handler should know which type of event that need to handle. So I'm saying, hey, you have to handle such event, application event. And then you'll say action. What is action? Your server, your JS controller. I'll say C colon handle app event. I'm just saying handle app event. Let me go to this and create a controller for this. app event. Now how to get a data? Read a event attribute for list of accounts. Let accounts equal to, how to read a data? Event dot get parent, because here we are doing what we are doing here. Here we are setting parameters. Here we need to get a param of what we need to get. We need to get a param of account data. We need to get a param of account data. So now this account data will contain all the data whatever you needed. So now let's say I'm doing a simple alert statement and then we can modify the code. Alert total accounts from event accounts dot deploy, and I'm deploying this also parallelly. Deploy refresh. Don't forget to refresh when you are working with lightning components, because every time you refresh you will get the latest updated component. So now I'll say OMC. You got event, right? From where you are filing. This event is coming from this event. This alert is coming from display accounts, right? It means the communication is happening or not? Yes or no? Its communication is happening, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now 16. Am I modified anything here? Search for accounts. Am I modified or not modified? And if I click search, do you think that you really want to fire an event again? On click of search, do I need to fire an event? See, now it is firing, right? Every time I click search, it is firing event. But my expectation is that if the input is not changed, if the search input is not changed, even if I click a search, it should not fire an event. You understood this?
Ah, yes.
Now to do that, if input changes, your return value will change, right? Your return values will change. I mean, number of accounts or like a values within the account, isn't it? Then instead of writing an event at a search call, instead of firing an event at search call, we can fire an event based on our accounts change. Number of accounts got changed. Yes or no? So this concept is called detecting a variable change, detecting a attribute change. Now instead of firing there, I'll say aura handler name. This is called change event. This is called change event. Change value. What is the value that you need to capture? Monitor here. Here you need to monitor v dot accounts. Here you need to monitor account. As soon as if I get a accounts get changed, then I need to fire an event. I will say action equal to double quote fire event. Fire app fire app event. So whenever there is a change here, then I need to fire an event. So now let's say fire app event comma function component comma event comma. Now whenever there is a change in the event, then I need to fire an event. So simply you can say cut. You don't want to fire it. You can simply say here And instead of response.getReturnValue, value, you can say component.get of v.account. Right? Whatever you have in vdoc accounts, that only you need to send, right? Yes or no? That where you are storing your response.getReturnValue, value, isn't it? Any question there? Any questions? Whatever vdot accounts now, before and all whatever we are doing, on click of search we have started firing an event. Now we decided instead of firing a multiple events, we need to handle the changes whenever there is a change in the accounts. Whenever there is a change in the account. So that is what we are doing now. Now here you can see without changing input, if I click search event file, search event file. Now same thing, let's handle this. EA search my event file, right? Search what is happening. What is happening? Alter feeder. One minute. My bad. It should not fire because there is no change in the value. It should not fire an event again and again. Right click, empty cache and hard reload. Event. No, it is still firing. Value is still firing. Event. One minute, guys. Okay. Now in the source code, let me check because this is a value change. So value change in the sense it's have both old value and new value of that attribute. Event dot get parent, event dot get parent of old value. Event dot get parent is not a function. Event dot get parent. Okay, because this event is not being used. Okay, so let me change one thing. I need to check one more thing. Let's go back and here let me alert few things. Instead of alert, I'll say console.log let old value equal to event dot get parent. Event dot get parent old value. The same way to get a new value, it's always set value. Event dot get param of value. So let new values equal to event dot para of v dot just a value. So now console dot log, because there is a problem. My expectation is that event should not fire, but in this case events are firing. So I just wanted to check json dot stringify my old values say deploy. Now I can able to see what is my old value and what is my new value. Okay, inspect hard reload. Inspect hard reload. Let's go to console, clear the cache, yeah, search 16. So there is no old value, so it will get written search console. We are getting old values, so it means that it can able to capture the old values. Perfect. Now let's go back. And we can check fire event only if old values not equal to new values. Old values not equal to new values, then only it should go inside. Now it will hold the data, right? This is what we need to do. Before to that, let me comment out. Even I removed the debugger statement, but still I don't know. Yeah, search. Where I am at my debugger here. Refresh console, clear cache, and I say A, search, totally 16 records, so you don't have all data. On click of search, you got this, search, why old values and new values are same? Looks like this is not working, the old values and new values. Still there is an issue, right? Even though I'm firing a old values and I'm checking old value should not equal to new values, but still it is coming an error, isn't it? So instead of new value, let's say component.get, deploy this to source. Refresh. Search. Old value is null by default, right? And this time the old value should not be null, but value is firing. Cool, there is an issue. What could be the issue? Any guesses here? What is happening? Any guesses? Any guesses? Any guesses? How to fix this? How can we fix this? Guys, you there? Am I lost?
Yeah, Deepak.
how to fix this. Because now tell me, old values and new values are coming as a string or they're coming as a this one objects. How they are coming? They're coming as objects, right? One way we can avoid by converting this as a JSON strings. By converting this as JSON.string5. So we are converting the JSON object to string. So now string comparisons will happen right now. If both values are same in the string, then it will consider yes or no. Right? Now you converted your object to string. It means that if both strings are look same, so it means that the data is same for system, isn't it? Empty cache and hard reload. Now I'll say A search 16, and if I click search, event is fired or not? Event is not fired. See, event is not firing, right?
Yeah.
So what we're doing earlier, old values and new values are coming as objects, isn't it? They're coming as objects. So if you try to compare two objects like equal, and everything, JavaScript will not able to go through all the data. What is difference between two objects? Might be data same, but their memory location will be different, isn't it? If they have two objects, in the sense the location, the memory address of that object will be different, isn't it?
Yeah.
That difference is causing system to think these two values are different. That is why we got that event fired again and again. Even though we are checking old values not equal to new values and everything. So now what we have done, we converted the values to a string. Now we are doing a string comparison. Because of the string comparison, system will check, hey, if both strings are same, then the values is not changed. I don't want to fire an event. If the values are changed, then the string will be different and it will fire an application event. Right? Now we controlled our application event, right? When there is no change in the data. Any question here? Any question here? We know how to fire an event, but we also know how to read a values, fire an event as real change in the our attributes by using a method called handler. Name of the event is change and value whatever attribute you need to use and then apply controller function. Clear? Any questions? And we know how to register an event from this session. We know how to handle an event for the name change event, and the same way we know how to handle a fire event from another component at a application level. Any questions?